Floodwaters have forced the closure and evacuation of Yellowstone National Park and is causing chaos for residents in Montana. Fox Weather's Max Gordon joins us live now from Livingston, Montana with the very latest. Max, how's it looking around you?
Hey, well, behind me is the Yellowstone River, and we have been seeing large pieces of debris floating down the river. Over the past day or so, these waters rose to levels that, well, folks here haven't seen in the past 100 years or more. Now, over the past day, essentially, this river rose over its banks, destroyed bridges, even floated away homes. Luckily, the one that we're standing next to right now is all right, though the river did come dangerously close. Right now, the waters are receding, but it is leaving quite the mess. You can see this yard right here where there's still mud from all the water that flowed here. And check it out. Folks here have to do a lot of cleanup right now. You can see all this mud, and I want to show you inside this home right here. Look at that, all that mud and muck in there. Just a big old mess. Folks in this neighborhood have had to spend the day mucking out their homes. Here's one man that we talked to earlier.
It's just a half-inch of sledge everywhere, like everywhere. And last night it was really bad. It stunk because it was just awful. There was sewage back up, there was everything, so we evacuated the second floor and stayed safe with all our dogs.
Flood warnings from the National Weather Service remain into effect into the evening. Some areas here picked up around 5 inches of rain. This combined with 2 to 5 inches of snow water equivalent melt to create flooding conditions that the National Weather Service says hasn't been seen before in some areas. This created a dangerous situation. According to the Montana National Guard, 12 people had to be rescued via helicopter on Monday, with more rescue operations still underway. There's been serious flooding in the town of Livingston, where we are, as well as in the town of Red Lodge, also in southern Montana near Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone is closed until at least Wednesday, and the park had to be evacuated. According to the Park Service, there have been numerous bridge and road failures, with mudslides and rock falls causing significant damage. Now, this is a major economic blow to this region as well. Folks here in Livingston rely on Yellowstone National Park as a big tourist operation, as a draw for people. Also, the Yellowstone River is a huge draw for people who like to go fly fishing. So all of this flooding is a major economic blow as they get really into the peak of their tourist season.
Yeah,
Guys,
because people always want to go there during the summers when the weather's nice. A lot of places, like out here in Phoenix, it's hot, and so people want to get out to places like Yellowstone. Max, we were reporting that there were evacuations before. You said that too. So there's no evacuations underway at this point in time, or they are still evacuating people in this moment?
Yeah, there are still evacuations that are ongoing. So essentially the Montana National Guard has 2 helicopters up in the air. They're searching for folks. So those operations are still underway. This is definitely an active flooding event as we speak. So we will be getting an update later on in the day, as well as an update from the National Park Service on the closure of Yellowstone National Park.
Yeah, and you were saying that this is historic, but I mean, have they had any type of flooding in the past at Yellowstone, or nothing along these lines?
Yeah, I mean, this is historic flooding, right? So essentially what happened here was that we had a really significant rain event, and we had a pretty heavy late spring snowpack. So essentially the rain came in, started melting this snow, and so on top of the 5 or so inches of rain that some parts of the state received, well, we had 2 to 3 inches of melt off that occurred. That caused creeks and rivers like the Yellowstone River to swell, and we saw this historic flooding. Again, this area, we've been speaking to people, and they said they have seen flooding on the river before, but nothing like this. Homes that, were considered to be very safe, high and dry, inundated with water because of this flooding event. So just a scary situation for folks here in Livingston and across southern Montana.
Yeah, Max, we're bringing up some of that video that people have been taking on their cell phones, just watching houses, full houses, floating away on these high waters here. So devastating for that town, unfortunately. Any last thoughts on this as the cleanup is underway?
Yeah, I mean, I think the silver lining in all of this is that the community is coming together. We're seeing folks coming together to clean up houses, to, deliver food to neighbors. It really is in the case of a natural disaster that communities come together, and really you see the bonds of these communities like this. And, here in Livingston, things are no different. They are used to, the rugged wilds of Montana. But, when you have a situation like this is something that really nobody can be fully prepared for. So it is inspiring to see people coming together to help each other clean up.
All right, Fox Weather's Max Gordon, thank you so much for joining us here on Live Now. We'll talk to you soon.